Hello everyone and welcome to another One Punch Man The Strongest video. Today we're doing our episode 10 of our basic series account review. So over here we have Slayze from Server7. So he is currently ranked 88 inside the BP ranking, and also he is ranked 25 inside the arena, which is pretty good. So this is his current lineup. As of now, I would say this one is a pretty good lineup in the sense that the first speed will be Duro to decrease the opponent's HP, then from there the generals were to blast the opponents, then from there a third speed RMG. However, for this one, I would actually recommend the general's first speed and a second speed RMG instead. Reason being, as of right now, we actually seen a lot of these watchdog men itself. So for Duro core, you only have 6 energy per turn. So generally with the seal, if let's say they are running a fast watchdog, generally you only be able to put out 2 ultis. So in this case, you can actually consider to take up a general's first speed and a second speed RMG. Also for this zombie itself, I would actually recommend putting on the alloy instead to protect the RMG, so that when it comes to the second turn, your RMG can actually do follow-up damage to the opponents. Next, we'll be going over his basic. So we'll start from the left side with his home training. So for his home training, it is pretty well done in the sense that he maxed out all the training halls, and also he has been trying to max out his home training itself. So for this skill and battle training, what I'll suggest is actually to max out the attack and HP. Over here, I can see that he is making effort to actually change the attack and HP already lah, but as of now, it will still take some time to actually fix up everything. However, generally, because he has a 30 million goal, so I believe it is no issue. And over here, we have his core, so he's pretty much running the meta cores itself. So Zombie Man, Sea King, and Dr. Genius, and Chow Emperor. For this Amai and Bakusan, I believe he wants the single attack rate from their cores itself, because it's running RMG. So this one is pretty good. Next, his figurines are also very good, very well done, in the sense that he have go and use up all his badges itself. And for this one, he has a lack of sharp, so I believe it's because of these epic recruits itself. So in this case, he might want to draw for it, then from there he can increase his power even more. And also for his supplies itself, he has actually 236 core supply tickets, so I believe he has been saving up the home request to do 2 special requests per day, so this one is pretty good. And on top of that, he has been watching his ads, which is very good as well. And over at his training center is well done as well, so 2 characters of each element. Then on top of that, for his skill training, this one is pretty low. So in this case, I believe it's because he has unused skill books. Yeah, over here he actually has some unused skill books lah, so he definitely want to use up all these skill books. Then from there, he have the goal to actually purchase out the skill points lah, so he can actually raise his skills further. Then also another thing I noticed is that for these characters itself, some of them have actually quite high skill levels. For example, his vaccine over here, he actually has a skill limit of 10 on it. And also for characters such as this Beast King over here, also level 9. So in this case, you can actually consider to reverse these characters for the skill books itself over here, then from there use it on the characters. Then a quick tip is that if let's say this character is inside the training center, for example over here, you will not be able to reverse the characters. So if let's say you want to reverse, you can actually click on this arrow key on the side. So from there you can actually, just now we are not able to click on the Dr. Genius, then now we are able to click on the Dr. Genius. So this one is something you can do if let's say you want to reverse the characters, but the characters is inside the training center. Also, another thing I noticed is that his gear levels are not yet maxed out. So as of now, he is level 107. So generally, his gears on his main DPS, so his Genos and RMG would have to be 107, and his CK, because he's using it as his main tank, so this one will have to be 107 as well. So for this one, because he has the gold and also the gear cards, so essentially he can just raise it up slowly via the dailies itself. Then for Genos, I noticed that he's not running the crit gear. He actually has some crit gear. This one is on alloy lah, so he definitely want to put this on to actually help in this current meta, because currently if let's say you do not crit, right, most people will actually be running RMG and also Goketsu. So for RMG and Goketsu, they have this passive that if you do not crit, the units have a 33% non-crit damage free. So essentially your damage is reduced by 33%. Another thing I noticed is that for his talent sigils itself, he can actually open the sigils. So for RMG, because you are using it as your main DPS unit, so in this case, I will actually suggest you to open up the 8-sided slot on the right side. I'm not going to click on it in case it directly opens. Yeah, but this one you actually can consider, because currently right now you have 58 SAC, so you can actually use 15 to open the sigils. Then from there you give it a Bastion sigil. The Bastion sigil looks like this. So if let's say you open the sigil up, definitely put this on to reduce the crit of opponent's Genos and also RMG. So essentially, if let's say they do not crit, your own passive will actually reduce the opponent's damage itself. And also something I noticed is that for your buff gear materials itself, you might actually want to use some of it to actually increase the current characters that you have. So for example, over here you have your RMG. So RMG is your main DPS and you have 2000 of these Valiant formula. So you can actually use it to increase the attack of the RMG and also some crit for your RMG, or actually just increase the attack. Then for Genos, this one is pretty good. However, for this you can actually consider to raise the damage rate and also HP. Then over here as well to raise the speed, and over here to raise the crit. But generally I would say it's already very well allocated. Another thing I noticed is that your resist intake, you're currently doing the Goketsu chest. So in this case, for after today, you'll actually get the 20th chest. So maybe tomorrow you can try out the Cycles itself. So I believe according to your current lineup, you should be able to hit the Duro chest. So for this lineup itself, it's not very okay because the Zombie Man core is only giving the survivability. It doesn't actually give damage. Then on top of that, all these units, you have the Armine, Beast King, and Dr. Genius. So these three units are all training center units. So if let's say the Armine and the Beast King is inside the training center, generally you won't be able to do much damage with it. So instead, what I'll suggest for your Duro lineup is it will look something like this lah. Then on top of that, you'll be running the Core 4. So as of now, you are not able to change because the Core 4 is not put inside the laboratory. So we'll go ahead and swap the Dr. Genius core with the Duro core. So from there, your Core 4 is able to change. So from here, your RMG will actually have a 30% out damage bonus. So it will definitely help you to kill off the Duro itself inside the resist invasion. So over here is his SAC count. As of now, you have 428 SAC inside the inventory. And I'll say it's split pretty well among the RMG and also Genos. Then things to take note for your tank top and zombie, you can actually take out the SAC and either use it as your spare or actually put the SAC onto the RMG and also Genos to further increase their damage. And from there, you are able to climb in the arena or to maintain your ranking. So last, we have your black tickets drawing itself. So for black tickets, I believe you already know what to draw. So as of now, you have 290 tickets. So on August it will be ATT, and September RMI, this one is up to you because it is actually a support. So I'm not too sure on whether you draw supports or purely DPS. And also for Bomb in November. Then for Sonic, because although it's a support, however, it's actually needed inside the bomb core itself. Then for Tailwind, this one is also a support, so I'm not too sure on whether you are going for it. So to sum up, for your account itself, you will actually need to focus on leveling up the gears and also using your materials to level up your current buff cards. Then from there, you draw the RMG keepsake to make it P5. Then also slot in the alloy inside the arena team to protect your RMG, because RMG is one of your most heavily invested units. Then also try to aim for these Duro resist invasion. So you go and try out the lineup that we talked about, then from there see whether your damage is enough to hit the Duro chest itself. So for this Duro chest, it will actually grant you more buff tier materials. And also take note that for talents, you definitely want to max out the HP and attack for the RMG, and also max out the HP for the CK. Then also you can consider opening up the support sigils to make your RMG more tanky, because it's one of your most heavily invested units. So all in all, I feel that this one is actually a very well managed account, considering that you only have the association backup itself. You are able to hit the rank 25 of the arena. This one is already considered very good. And on top of that, you are able to defend against most of the players who attack you, which is very good. That's all I have for today. If let's say you enjoyed the video, please like and also subscribe to the channel for future content. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Goodbye.